And once again, we are transmitting live from the ice park. You can see our shows every night here at 8 o'clock Alaska Standard Time. And if you miss any of our shows, they will be recorded for you to view on YouTube at icealaskaonline.com. Now, we may have to move a little bit here. We've Okay, so they're good. So tonight we're going to take you through the multi-block competition first night. They're primarily just stacking blocks and preparing their, excuse me, the general outline of their pieces. But a lot of people have voiced interest in seeing how this all gets started. So. And
there's 20 sites from teams from all over the world. We have a lot of teams from Russia and China tonight.
Yeah, well, actually, I think there's only 19 because there's one missing there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go down here and see. And tonight's broadcast, by the way, is brought to you by GCI. We always like to take time to thank our promoters. Without them, we would not be here. So thank you, GCI.
And we're still missing the names of the pieces, but we'll get them in a couple of days. Usually the first day we don't get them.
Yeah, and a lot of times the artists haven't even named their pieces yet.
Sometimes they name them as they go along.
Yeah. What?
Check Yelena's microphone, make sure it's on.
Let's see, Yelena, is your mic on?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, her mic is on. Do you have which side is this? This is site 3.
Levels on it.
The team captain is and we have Sergei Tolbrovsky, Danila Safaronov, and Safanov, excuse me, and Sergei Korolkov. And this is a mixed team from Russia and the U.S.
And there's a lift operation going on right now. There's a lot of this in the beginning.
Oh.
Unlike the single block, they can use power lifting, power-assisted lifting throughout the competition.
I think we might have our sights wrong because that is Kifang on in there. The team member is Kifang on. That would be site 2. China.
Oh, okay.
So, as we figure this out, sometimes we have...
Well, we'll have some corrections to make to our website tomorrow.
Yeah, because that's Kifang on in there.
Yeah. Wow, this is that's a lot of stress on that strap.
In multi-block, all of the pieces go upwards.
Yeah.
We get a lot of height.
A lot of height on this.
And the artists have every year, even if new artists come in, they have to learn the signals, the hand signals, to communicate with the lift operators.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't all speak English, so there are these signals that they use for up and down and out and in and
to get their block in the right position.
Okay, well, we'll
Speak closer to the microphone.
Okay. Speak closer to the microphone.
oh, okay. All right, well, let's go to, so if the site numbering is off, which one would this be? It says it's site 4.
Well, this is Snow Village, Russia, so I think this one is right. They might have switched teams. I remember one year the sites switched completely and we were naming the wrong pieces.
Yeah, I
all of a sudden.
remember that.
I remember that.
We got into some
So,
trouble over that one.
Sometimes we just have to double check this stuff.
Okay, well,
Alright, this is Snow Village and it has the Russian sign, so and it says Snezhne Derevnya, which is Snow Village in Russian.
all right. Well, I'm glad you're here.
This is site number what? This is site number
This is 4.
So it looks like they moved down, maybe, or they switched teams. Anyway, we'll get it right. But I'm gonna name it off as it lists here on the web.
Okay.
So the site number, the team members are Vadim Porin, Ivan Laktukin, and Edward Ponomarenko. They're from Russia. So those look like they got their blocks in the right position and they're taking a break.
They're taking a break, yeah.
Because believe it or not, it takes a lot just to position these blocks in the right place. That's just mainly what the first day is all about.
And they started at 9 o'clock this
Yeah.
morning, so they've been working at it a little while.
Yeah.
Now, Site 5 on our roster is blank, but I think that there is somebody here.
There maybe, it does say blank on this one, yep. So, we'll keep walking.
We'll just keep going. This is just an overview so that you can kind of see some activity. We may not get the names right on this first day until we get some of these things straightened out. The artists like to move around. Sometimes they trade sites. So, but by the second day, it should be solid.
Yep.
So tonight we'll just be looking at activity and some of the things that are going on as they position their pieces.
And we'll talk to some of the artists as well. Yeah, look. So it's definitely not right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
okay.
All right. We're moving right along. Watch the blocks of ice.
How many pieces, again, I always forget to remember the fact. How many pieces does multi-block have?
Well, they start out with 10 blocks of ice, and if you get a look at these blocks, they are not quite as big as the single block blocks are. But so these are about 42 to 4,500 pounds each. So 10 blocks, that's 42,000 pounds.
Actually, this site, the artists, I can name them on this site because I can tell who they are. So it's Alexander Karpinov, Sergei Zaplatin, and Kirill Nikiforov from Russia. You see them working ahead of us.
Yeah, it helps when you recognize the
Yeah,
artist.
it does. Well, a lot of them come back every year, so you get to become friends with them, and you get to see the same faces over and over.
You do. There's a mixture of newcomers and old timers, and the old timers help out the newcomers, and it turns into kind of a family.
It really does. It's not much of a, even though it's a competition, they're not really like there's no competing spirit. It's more like we'll help you out.
Yeah, they help each other out. They borrow each other's tools.
And they all root for each other too, and it's really fun.
They do. They root and cheer during the award ceremony, and yeah. Okay, well, the next one it looks like is there's no lights over there. Yeah, and then the next one after that is dark as well. The blocks are all stacked up really high, though. Well, the first day is like this, you know. As you get farther into the competition, then they're here way into the night. the swing.
But we are having another ice bowl up here.
There's,
Number 11. These are our guys. Pablo,
oh ho ho!
Pablo Smith.
You're gonna get that up there in one piece? All right, well. All right. All right, good deal. All right. So we're going to stand back a little ways here because this is
So like you said, like Pablo said, they're adding more teammates. So by the second day, they could have another teammate.
and the safety rules here is we have to maintain 15 feet from the tractor when it's in motion. Lift operations are one of the most hazardous operations in this competition. So there are rules of safety that we have to observe, even though we're, you know, physically aware of where everything is at. It's still, the rules are the rules.
Smaller amount of sites, but a more grandeur operation.
Yeah. All right. Well.
First couple of days and then the last couple of days to glue the pieces on. But
Yeah.
they're here throughout the whole time, but we'll see them most of the time.
Now that's a full-size block of ice. That's 2 tons up there.
That's not something you want to stand under at
No,
all.
no. Actually, that's another one of the safety rules: is you never go underneath a lift.
Oh, and see how that guy over there, the ice carver, is signaling?
Yeah,
So they're communicating.
Those
how
are
they
the
want it.
signals. That means down. Here that means hold. That means down.
And now, Steve, if there's a flaw in the ice and the ice carvers notice it, they can switch it out for another block, right?
Right. They have a chance in the first day to examine their blocks, and if they think that there's a block that's damaged too much, has too many flaws, or is unsafe, they're allowed to switch it out for another block. That means okay.
Alright. Which site number? Site number 12. Looks like it's the right.
What's that?
Edwin's back at it.
Yeah,
There he is.
there he is. And
This
these are
is-
the team captains. It's Edwin Hutchinson, Brian Connors, and Daniel Howell from the U.S.
And Edwin was the one that you saw when the sculpture fell. He was unfortunately a little close to the sculpture when it came down, but he came out unhurt. That was the main thing.
Yeah, really good. We see a lot more power tools, bigger power tools for the multi-block.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Thankfully it's not as cold tonight, so it's been quite nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday was
Above
quite
zero.
cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a bit cold.
Yeah.
My family actually called and said, "How is it?" I just kept saying, "It's just really cold, man." It's really cold. It's a lot colder this year than it was last year. A lot more snow. Beautiful day of snow today. So
She'd say we're doing this in ice for a reason.
yes, yes. Man, we're excited to be back. Same site, two of the same team here.
Yeah.
And then we got the newcomers. We got Brian Connors, who does single block usually, and then Colin Henderson is actually here for his first time.
Oh, wow.
We have an all South Carolina team this year.
That's cool.
That's great.
Kind of weird, you know. Everyone, we get up here and everyone asks, like, "You guys have ice in South Carolina?" we make our ice. Yeah, definitely. But we're excited about our piece. We're not doing as much architecture this year. It's going to be a sweet piece with 2 horses. It's actually from the Green Gardens, the sculpture garden down in the Myrtle Beach area.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The front sculpture is this tornado of 2 horses battling.
No.
And, so we want to take it back a little bit to our roots, to our home, and bring that up here to Alaska. So
Nice.
I see
Nice.
the size of the horse. You can see that.
leg?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be incredible.
So, yeah, he's going to be up there. You're probably going to be 17 feet, about to your second thing up there.
17 feet high.
We're looking forward to it, man. We appreciate you guys being here. And we're gonna keep on
Well,
working.
we'll be here every night.
Excellent. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Tell your friends 8 o'clock every night. 8 o'clock Alaska time.
Alaska time.
Gotta get that one in.
Thanks, guys.
That's a massive piece of ice that they're gonna just for the layering.
I
You said
know.
horse, and I looked over there and saw that. What is this? This is site number 13. Let's see.
This is the Stugarts,
Stewart.
right?
Yeah, the Stewart
Yeah.
family. James, Robert, and Thomas Stewart. The
Yeah.
brothers and dad, right?
Yeah, and they did the single block. That was the one with the door that opens out.
That's funny because they had this site last year as well. They had like a,
They chose
a
the sa-
world and little village last
Yeah,
year.
yeah. They get the artists. They get to reserve the same site if they register early enough.
Oh, that's really neat. I like that. So you see these, what do you call them? See the curtains behind him?
The what?
Well, they don't have them here on the next site over, I guess.
Oh, the curtains.
Yeah, and that's to keep the sun out of the sculptures from melting
Yeah,
it.
those are sunshades. To keep. Every year, our spring seems to be coming a little earlier and a little earlier. So we've started putting up these shades to keep the sun off the sculptures.
Site number 14. Thomas Luando and Kevin Laughlin. And they had this site here too last year. They had the Star Wars theme.
Yeah, that's
Remember
right.
that?
Yep, R2D2. Okay. And this one, 15, this is the Bryces.
They had Steve and Heather Bryce and Stephen Dean.
Oh, Steve Dean's in here too, okay.
And they usually create scenes, very detailed scenes. Last year they created the Cinderella scene, Cinderella going down the
Yeah.
steps, and the clock in the background, and pumpkin, and there was a couple that got married at the site after they were done.
Yeah. Yeah, we shot pictures of that wedding.
That's cool. All right. That's you. This is Aaron Caustic's team. I have a feeling. Yep, I was right.
What's that?
I was like, I looked over here and I was like, I bet you this is Aaron Caustic's team. Yep, I was right. I looked. So this is Aaron Kostick is the team captain. You have Stan Kolonko, Wei-Sin Yang, and Jerry Perrin. They're all from the U.S. Aaron works so fast that when I saw this sculpture, I was like, I bet it's Aaron.
Yeah,
Sure enough,
'cause
it is.
they are very fast. You saw in single block, they were done a day early.
Yeah. And last year they did El Toro, and they were the first ones to finish.
Yeah. And again, that was at the same site.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some blocks laid out on the ground there. It looks like there's a stage of some sort in the foreground and that design in the background. And they've still got a lot of blocks of ice, so
Oh, yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds.
Yeah. Isn't one of the rules that they have to utilize every block?
Well, they're not required to use every block, but they get points taken off for any blocks that they don't use.
So you want to use them in every block.
So they need to be very efficient with the ice so that they utilize everything.
All right. Moving on along.
There's a star on the ground or something there. Huh? Yeah, there's some kind of a burst. Well, obviously they're going to put something over the top of it. We just have to see what that's going to be. That's part of the excitement of this competition, is watching these things take shape. Yeah. They submit drawings, but the drawings never do justice to the finished piece. You're always just totally in awe once it goes up and you realize.
I remember one year I was sitting and Mario was just drawing what he wanted to do when he got to the competition. I was like, what are you working on? It's really nice. You draw? He's like, oh yeah, this is the sculpture. I was like, that's amazing. So sometimes it's just out of inspiration, whatever inspires them.
Yeah.
And they were yeah, it was funny. Alrighty, this is site number 18.
A lot of divot in the middle. Now I took out too much. Do it? Do I try and nail board that? Can you hand me that level?
Looks like no one's here.
Well, this is site 19. Yeah, there's one more site over there. I'm not sure what the...
Oh, you're right. He was right.
Yeah.
And one more site in the background, which doesn't look like anyone's there.
Yeah, there's no light, and there's been no work being done, so I think it's a dead site.
Alright. That concludes our walk. So that was the walkthrough multi-block tonight.
So that was a short walk, and as you can see, there's just in the very beginnings of getting these pieces together, and we'll keep you up to date each night. If you're in the vicinity, come on out to the park. This is the weather is pretty nice today. We have a new concession at the park, Big Daddy's Barbecue, and I had beef tips tonight for dinner. So yeah, it's very, so come on out to the park. There's hot food and a lot of fun over in the kids park as well. So until tomorrow night.
I'm Yelena Petkova.
And I'm Steve Iverson, and we'll see you tomorrow night. If you miss any of these shows, they are available to view at icealaskaonline.com.
Bye, guys.
Bye.